Welcome to another episode of Friends in Wonder, a place where we invite you to explore meaningful topics without judgment or limits.
Brought to you by two lifelong friends sharing their insights.
I'm Joe Luther.
And I'm Vince Kern.
And we've got great topics lined up for you each week, so be sure to subscribe, like, and even share with your friends.
I'm going to start the show out by doing something that Joe and I said we really didn't like to do, which is just to simply say, "Hey, Joe, how you doing today?"
Yeah, the reason we say we don't like to do that, Vince, oh, by the way, I'm doing great. How are you? The reason we don't like to do that is because we're told that's cat talk, and people don't like to hear that kind of thing, apparently.
No, my cat likes to hear it, but we're not doing this podcast for cats yet. Although we do have a bit of an announcement today. This is the 1 year anniversary, almost to the day, when Joe and I sat and met in my basement in front of a whiteboard and really spent a lot of time talking about some sort of adventure that we wanted to do together to use our creativity, our skills, whatever wisdom we might have accumulated over our long life.
Our sense of wonder.
Our sense of wonder, which is, as you know, as a listener, we've been doing for a long time. And lo and behold, we wound up deciding to do this podcast. Now, when we did that, we didn't know much about producing a podcast and all of the things that it takes. And so we said at some point we would want to stop and assess where we've been and where we're going. And we are at the end of season 1 today, Joe.
Yeah. And as the classic rock band, the Byrds, would like to say, for everything turn, there is a season turn. And this is the end of season 1 and a time to reflect, as the song says, to use that metaphor and keep going with it. And really, it's a time for us to take the skills, as you said, that we have learned in this year and figure out how best to make it better, and looking forward to it, really, Vince.
Yeah, taking an objective look at what we've learned. We've learned a lot. I know that I have learned a lot of technical skills and the things that it takes to put a podcast out. It's a lot more complicated than I think people would realize. And it takes a lot of time to schedule the interviews, to do the recording, obviously, and then to take that audio track and turn it into something that doesn't have 4,000 ums and you knows in it.
I kept you very busy getting rid of my you knows.
If I had $1 for every and that I mumbled, Joe, I would be on a boat in the Bahamas. But it's really been a lot of fun, and I'm very proud of where we've been. And it's kind of like taking that bicycle when you're a kid, taking that Stingray bike and deciding, you know, what kind of handlebars you want to put on it and whether you want a banana seat. We've done a lot of topics. We've done a lot of different styles of podcasts. And so we're going to take a look at all of that and mold and shape Friends in Wonder into season 2.
Yeah, I like the metaphor of the bicycle, because when we were kids growing up, that bicycle really became kind of a manifestation of our personality. And that's exactly what we're doing with this podcast. And even though we had many different styles of episodes with interviews and political discussions and many different kinds of spiritual and self-growth kinds of topics, we wanted to try so many different things so that we could see what resonates with us and really what resonated with the listener. And it was very interesting to see, you know, how some episodes were way, way more downloaded than others. And we're really not doing it for that so much as we are for just what feels right. And now is a perfect time for us to take a little break, do some reflecting, take some of the topics that we love, and see what we're going to do for next season.
Yeah. The whole idea was to create a ripple effect. And if even one listener found something we did beneficial, then that was achieving our goal. And so in that respect, I'm very gratified that I think we've been able to do that. And I'm very gratified for the people that have listened, called in, commented, emailed, shared their feedback with us. It's not easy to give feedback. It's not easy to receive feedback, but it's all about taking that bicycle, painting it the way we want to paint it, putting the handlebars in the right spot, and getting it ready for the next road race around the podcast world. There's millions of podcasts out there, and we've had thousands of downloads for the first 30 some episodes. So we want to just continue that and improve. But we're going to be back very soon. We're not exactly sure when season 2 will commence.
It will definitely commence this year. It'll probably be late summer, early fall, but we'll have a lot more under our belt at that point, because instead of figuring things out like we've done on the run this season, now we can just concentrate on the subject matter and really enjoy ourselves for next season.
Yeah, it's not like we're going to be hanging out on the beach in our Speedos for the whole summer. We've got a lot of work to do. We've got work we've got interviews scheduled already. We've got some podcasts that we have planned to do.
Yeah, Vince, you're going to have to erase that idea, that visual that you just placed in my mind of us in Speedos together.
Sorry
how
about that.
How about if we do some outtakes or something like that? Maybe that'll purge that visual.
All right. Well, in the meantime, folks, just know that we are always here for you and with you, and we honor your mission in life, whatever it is. And you can still reach us on our website at friendsinwonder.com, on our Facebook page, Friends in Wonder, or email us at talk@friendsinwonder.com with any suggestions, topics you'd like to see covered in season 2. So thank you for being with us in season 1. We will be back with you soon, and enjoy some of these outtakes in the meantime.
Looking forward to it, Vince.
You guys are definitely boomers.
Okay, so you say that?
I don't know. It's
because I'm wearing gloves?
No, it's the locks. It's the flowing locks.
And thanks for spending the time in our wandering world. That's what you wrote in there. And thanks for spending.
Oh, I did.
Spending the time.
How about if we try that one again?
I like it. So your favorite thing basically is working with me.
Yes. Yes, it is, Joe.
I get that.
Actually, my favorite thing
I get that a lot.
Yeah, I imagine you would. I feel Ohms and Patanjalis. You know?
Right.
There are teachings on yoga that go back like 30,000 years.
Isn't that something? Wow.
At least this much I understand. Patanjali, sort of like Shakespeare, where it was like, was it one person? Was it several people?
I want perfection, man. I want somebody commenting and going, your podcast's great. Your intro's okay, but you got an audio blip, man.
They keep talking about computers getting more and more and more advanced. And at some point, possibly they could even become conscious. If they do you think that they'll be guilty of having negative self-talk?
When I talk about the spirit mind and what that means, it means being able to tune into the guidance directly from Creator. And it doesn't matter what your religious views are, right? Creator, source energy, however you get there is Creator. So you're tapped in on that level, and you're getting your guidance not in a logical way, but in what some people would call an intuitive way, but I'll call a spiritual way. Okay, because there is a difference between intuition and shamanic awareness.
And in 2010, the amount of information and data that we have created and put out there equals 2 stacks of books running from Earth to Pluto. Now, the fact that somebody can even figure that out in 5 to 10 minutes is pretty amazing, because it would have taken a mathematician probably days to do that back in the BC days.
because if it touches one person, two people, 10, 20, it's important, it's valuable. And so we're born to share what we have inside of us. And so whether it's through a book or music or acting, art, I think that we need to be encouraging one another to do that and share that unique, thumbprint that we all leave on this planet. It's like, why were we born?